So those are just one of the places that you have to go and visit, or I should say that is one of the places you have to go and visit, the Basotho Cultural Village, as we come to you from one of the most beautiful places in South Africa. The sun just hitting this mountain and giving it that golden hue, hence the name Golden Gate National Highlands Park. And I tell you, it's just fantastic and exquisite to be here. Doesn't matter how cold it is, I just think that adds to the atmosphere as well. Now, our national parks are visited by many tourists, whether people are coming from all over the world to come and see the beauty that we have here at our national parks, or locals, and that's what this week is all about. Of course, the reason we're broadcasting from here is that it is SanParks Week, free entry to South African citizens into the park from today until the end of the week, and that is really a great saving to all South Africans to go and experience the natural wonders and beauty, whether it be the big 5 parks or our natural environment. And that's what you get here when you come to the this particular park. Those South Africans do visit our national parks, the numbers of black visitors to SanParks is still a major issue. So how do we capture that market? And joining me now, we've got Hapiloe Sello, who is the Managing Executive for Tourism Development and Marketing at SanParks. So good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you, Leanne. Right. Good to see you.
Yeah. So I mean, we talk about tourism numbers increasing to SanParks, which it is, and last SanParks Week last year, 61,000 visitors in 1 week. That's huge and it's beautiful. However, we still, I imagine, trying to get more black visitors into the park.
We are indeed, but there is a gradual increase. I think we've engaged in a number of awareness raising initiatives, and we are beginning to see a market response. It's still gradual, but we would like to see an avalanche, obviously, of people coming, particularly the younger people, the millennials. Yeah. And we need to specifically reach out for them. And this particular park is well, positioned for the millennial market, because we are going to be introducing quite a number of adventure activities. And, the altitude, the topology allows us to have things like ziplining, abseiling, 4x4 trails. It's going to be magnificent. So in another year, we're hoping to have quite a basket of activities within this park.
Yeah, to really make it one of those extreme parks that you come here and have fun.
We'd love to do that. That's exactly the vision. And you will agree that, the way, with all the mountains, and as I say, the topology and the altitude, it lends itself to that.
Listen, as I was driving here, and one thing that entered my mind, I mean, this is the kind of place that any cyclist would dream of riding on those roads. Any person who runs would dream of running on these roads. Have you ever thought of anything like that?
Yes, we are actually working on an ultra marathon as well, but we're keeping a little bit of that under wraps. Okay. But we are working on an ultra marathon, and as you know, we're a transfrontier park. We're at the border of Lesotho. So if all goes well, we might just find ourselves having a transfrontier marathon. Beautiful. But that's a very long negotiation, but we're getting into it, because we've done it in other parks, by the way, where we actually have a cross-border marathon. So this would not be a new idea at all for us.
Excellent. And just so that we can tell viewers out there, we don't have the big 5 here. You're not going to be chased by a lion or a cheetah or a leopard, so it's fine. It's fine. Yes. I'm sure SanParks would like to increase the number of visitors to the parks that you have in your fold as well. How do you market it? I mean, where are the avenues that you go to now? Because obviously you have your market that come regularly, but you need the new visitors.
We have a lot of exciting initiatives coming up. We won't tell you much. But right now we have a partnership with Media24, where we're running a campaign through Drum Magazine, Move, and Gayer Magazine. And as you can tell from those titles, which markets we're trying to reach out to. So that will be running for the next few months. We're hoping to have a few things on television very soon. But we also have begun a strategy where we use events largely to attract people into our parks. So here at Golden Gate in December, we're going to actually be having a classical concert.
Wow.
Yes, in these beautiful mountains. Can you imagine it, Leanne?
It's amazing.
It's going to be absolutely stunning. So that will be on the weekend of the 8th of December.
Yeah.
And of course, you're welcome.
I will be here. That sounds unbelievable.
Yeah, so we're looking for interesting, innovative things to do that will create sufficient, attention around the parks, as opposed to just, your orthodox type of marketing where it's just about advertising. We want to engage people differently, and that's what we're trying to do. Yes.
I mean, that is incredible, and the whole idea is obviously not to mess up the environment, because this is still sacred space. I mean, the ecotourism is what this is all about. So it's trying to find new things and yet still protect this environment.
It's a very delicate balance for us to maintain. And even as we talk about having events, we're actually not talking about mass events. It's very small niche events, maybe 250 people maximum, because at the end of the day, the environment and the conservation element has to be at the fore. We really cannot have thousands of people trampling on. This is amazing sacred ground, as you call it.
Yeah.
You know, this is biodiversity, and we're here to conserve it. We can destroy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the whole idea. Just on a final closing note, because again, we've been talking about free entry the whole of this week. So, and it's important for everybody to know, you're not going to come here and get free accommodation. It's just free entry at the gate if you're holding a valid South African ID document. And we've said some of them on the weekend. Can we elaborate on that?
There are two parks that are exempt from this, yes. It's Boulders, which is down in Cape Town, and Namakwa, which is in the Northern Cape, yes.
Right. But otherwise, all the other parks free of charge?
This one is actually a free access park anyway. Yes. Golden Gate, you don't have to pay to enter. Yes. But most of the other ones are you have to pay to enter. You bring your ID if you're over the age of 16, and if you're South African, it is free entry.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for talking to us here on the program. Hapiloe Sello is the Managing Executive for Tourism Development and Marketing here at SanParks. Let's take an ad break. When we see you again, we'll have a lot more from this magnificent area, but also we'll have some news for you at 8 o'clock.